Sometimes when you're in the midst of an unusual situation, you have to take pause and ask yourself, what if? Hello again, everyone. I'm Eli's dad with Project Eli, where we educate, lead, and inspire. And you know, recently I get like all sorts of letters, input, emails, so on and so forth from people all over making claims and so on and so forth. But I did get an interesting letter that I want to share with you today from a gentleman that I respect very much, a gentleman named Keith, and I'm just going to read it to you, and it's called, What If? What if the reopening is a ploy? What if it's not real because it's not meant to last? What if it's really a steam valve to calm public outrage and to condition us to increase control over us? Could it not be that the elites believe that we will eventually acclimate to lockdowns as long as we have a reopening to look forward to soon enough? Reopening dates for the economy are rather sketchy, subject to the curve flattening. Perhaps, but maybe our tendency to rebel will be suppressed by their instilling false hopes that the next reopening will be a permanent reopening. Dr. Keith Emanuel, architect of Obamacare and, quote, "If you want your doctor, you can keep your doctor," unquote, has been saying we should prepare for the shutdown to last until we have a proven vaccine. He's one of many. Now, there are indicators to lead us to believe that after 18 months or more of the wave model, we will be so desperate for normalcy that we will do anything to get it, including willingly giving up ever-increasing freedoms. Think of the tracking app that's being introduced to us. Are the elite part of the nearly 40 million without a job? Why are we getting an extra $600 per week for unemployment? Isn't Congress being paid? Never let a crisis go to waste. Placate the people. Promise them anything. Anesthetize them with emollientives. And I had to look that up. Emollientives means it's a softening agent. Do not be blinded to the very real possibility that the pandemic is now a very useful tool in the hands of those lawmakers and their handmaidens who would love to increase their power and control. Okay, Keith, that's a viewpoint. Not sure I necessarily agree with that. Sometimes you got to take things at face value. And this is something that it's not like we haven't had, medical situations that have gone out of control. This one seems to fit in line with everything. So I'm not ready right now to give it the, quick shot of conspiracy. But I do want to present your viewpoint because it is interesting and it does make you think. You know what it made me think of? It kind of made me think of that organization that James Bond always contends with, Spectre. The guy with the cat in his lap who's sitting there and he's petting the cat and says, and number 3, and then he presses a button and number 3 goes, ah! Okay. But anyway, interesting point of view, Keith. Wanted to share it. And because we will never end a meeting on a philosophical note, let's get out there and charge! I'm Eli's dad.